These are the very same geneticist core principles embodied by Nazism and Adolf Hitler. And this should be something that is sickening and alarming to every single Democrat and every single American. We have seen where this philosophy can lead.
So regrettably too late for us to cover on our Friday edition of the Damage Report. That was what Tulsi Gabbard chose to deploy to get a little bit of cred on Fox News, saying that because the Biden administration, you're gonna have to follow me, this is a little bit of a leap of logic, doesn't just have white people on their cabinet, ergo, they Nazis. That is the case that she decided to make to a Jesse Waters, who of course has neither the inclination nor the constitution to push back against that insanity at all. But I wanna give you her more fuller remarks. Here is what she said leading up to that declaration that Dark Brandon's a Nazi overlord.
Their philosophy, identity politics. And this is one of the main reasons why I left the Democratic Party, because you're seeing how their agenda of identity politics is directly undermining the traditional democratic values that were expressed so beautifully and clearly by Dr. Martin Luther King, that we should judge each other not based on the color of our skin, but based on our character. And yet, as you have displayed here over and over with example after example, they're proud to be judging people, hiring people, selecting people based on race, which is really, let's be clear how serious of a problem this is. It's based on genetics, race, based on your blood, your genes.
So it's not enough for her to be like, this is woke, you shouldn't do it, and then throw in a little bit of implying that people, as she did there, are only getting selected for that they're obviously not qualified. Oh, and also when literally every other president, including Donald Trump, just packed it full of like white corporate cronies, that there was nothing wrong with that. Certainly nothing Nazi-ish about that. That was fine. It's not identity politics to only allow white people on your cabinet, but as soon as you stop doing that, it's immediately identity politics.
Because John, let's be real, it's merit-based when it came to the Trump administration, Jared Kushner piece in the Middle East. Like, it's just, the carrying water. Look, man, Fox News and the far right doesn't even have enough slots for women and people of color, Tulsi, for you to fill one of them. So stop carrying their water. They don't care about you. They will never care about you. They want to use you as a tool. And look at her. She's so proud to be used as a tool for the right. And honestly, I say every person who knew that Tulsi was trash from the beginning, Kasparian, myself, you better Venmo us $1. I want a TBR-live. That is my Venmo. You Venmo me. If you were a Tulsi stan and you've changed your ways, all I need is $1. But if I had $1 for every time she said something ridiculous and that we called, my God, I could, I could have some money in what I'm saying is
Shamrock Shake.
I gotta get a Shamrock Shake, damn it. She's just, it's so disgusting to me. That it's never identity politics when it's white people. It's only identity politics when it's people of color and women. And again, this is the way that they're trying to trick us. And they're specifically trying to trick the so-called left and folks who are susceptible to believing that there's only one axis of struggle, which is economic. As if Fox News ever actually puts any action behind their words when they claim to be populist or they claim to care about working people. No, they don't. They don't talk about labor unions. They don't talk about any of that. But it's all bait. It's all bait to say inclusivity doesn't matter. Having women on your cabinet doesn't matter. Having people of color in your cabinet doesn't matter. And I think the left needs to strongly say it absolutely matters. It does. And there is way more to it as well. It is what they're doing. It is what their record is. And it's not if they are like Tulsi and carrying water for the same white supremacist patriarchal BS system that she so gleefully does now.
100%. Yeah, this is what you say to get this network, which is like the digital embodiment of white grievance politics. That is all that it is. I mean, that's not why it is. Why it is to protect the wealthy, stop corporate regulations and tax cuts. But what it is white grievance politics. That's it. Every single day, Tulsi Gabbard knows that. She knows what she's doing to be put to get to appear on TV, maybe to sell some books or promote a podcast or whatever. That's a decision that she's making, and to roll out Nazi comparisons over that. I don't know. I mean, look, honestly, when I think of Nazis, I don't immediately think of diverse representation at the highest levels of government. Making sure you have women and members of the LGBTQ community. That doesn't strike me as especially Nazi-ish, but she was able to get there mentally. I want to remind you though, this ain't the first time she's stretched to call the Biden administration Nazis. Back in October of last year when she was campaigning for Don Bolduc. Hey, remember when she was campaigning for some of the worst conspiratorial Republicans around? Thankfully, he failed. She was doing this speech and she said that because Biden had recently warned about the authoritarian tendencies among some on the right, she declared him very similar to Hitler. They share a common mindset.
My God.
That was what she said. By the way, she was campaigning for a guy who says that the vaccine is just Bill Gates putting microchips in people, and he pushed the litter boxes in schools thing. So that's who she was stumping for, as well as Carrie Lake and Herschel Walker and all of those. But again, it's whatever. Whatever I need is Biden being a Nazi. And by the way, really fast, take a look at the logic in that. Biden gave that speech saying, I'm worried about the normalization of extremism. And she said, how dare you do that? It is so bad to declare that the other side might be authoritarians that I'm gonna call you Hitler, which is exactly what you're saying we shouldn't do. Like internally to that argument, you're doing the very thing that you think makes one Hitler.
I have a bit.
She Hitler.
I have a bit about, I don't do it as much anymore, but like that the right like believes that racism works like farts, like whoever smelt it dealt it, and it's like, that's not how farts work.
No.
Nobody tattles on themselves. Farts do not work like that. It's whoever denied it, supplied it. We all know that to be true. And the same is for racism. Farts are very much like racism. And also, there's no such thing as reverse fart, all right? There's no such thing as reverse racism, y'all. Racism is a structure, it's an institution. Yes, and until, like these people is like we've been living in Wakanda for too long. Like we don't live in Wakanda, sadly. All right. Yeah. And until we do, and there's 500 years of Wakandan genocide against a white minority, then we can talk. But I don't see that happening.
Yes. By the way, I definitely think that you should write a children's book explaining the concept of racism through an extended fart analogy. I think that could be pretty good.
Oh, that's a dare. That's a double dog dare. And I will be doing that.